Okay.
Okay, so Robert, let's continue, and you can conclude the presentation, which you started. So now we have time to complete that, and then we move forward with questions and move to next steps.
Okay. Well, I would say, by all means, our business plan feasibility study is a live document which is ongoing. We have done a lot. We've already done partly our public participation as part of the CSI, and we already have our listed machinery, our development program in place. So in a nutshell, our end is complete. We would need to study what you can put on the table. We are open to suggestion, of course, subject to our board approvals. We have our board, African board to approve. And we also have our experts to analyze and then interrogate. That is why we're saying it will be more useful to, first of all, understand what you can put on the table before we even talk of documentation, before you start requesting for leases. The leases are there. We've had them, we've drawn them. We would need to see what you can do on the table so that we put this across. We will also need to understand the kind of partnership, the shareholdings, or what you're suggesting. Otherwise, we'll be a bit reluctant, to be very honest with you, to start exchanging very confidential documents that belongs to AHL. So let's first of all understand. Let's have all the documents in place. Let's have the financial model you're talking about, whether it can work. I would like to promise Henry, every document has been thought carefully. 5 years of interrogation in terms of land and everything. It's not, the whole thing is not based on the lease. It is based on the facts that whether it is feasible or viable or not. So let's first understand what you're bringing in for us to be able to move to the next level. That is my suggestion.
I agree with you 100%, Robert. And I think after looking at the executive summary, which I have reviewed it thoroughly, so we don't have any issues with respect to any kind of trust element, so we should not be actually now wasting our time in doing due diligences, because I think all the team members are part of a project team now, and now we should be working as a team to move forward in executing the project, utilizing the lean engineering principles without wasting any time or any efforts from anybody. So I think that is my recommendation and suggestion. And we will definitely share the technologies and all the things which we are bringing in. And like I said that, there are two ways of doing things, and I'm good at making presentations and, convincing everybody to, do what I believe in doing. But I believe now, based on my extensive experience as a professor, that people love your presentations. And, like a statement which my students make is this, that Mufaddal, when we are in your classroom, we are in heaven. But once we get out of your classroom, everything is hell. So, so now we decide, that's the reason I decided that, we don't want to make lectures and presentations, etc., in a classroom. We want to really go out in the field and demonstrate to the people what we are talking about. So that is the reason of forming my company, okay, transforming myself into an entrepreneur, okay. And now everybody who is actually been with me throughout my career, as a colleague, as a students, most of my students are CEOs of the company now. So now everybody, since I assumed the entrepreneurship role, everybody is interested in, working with us. So there is no issue in terms of, whether we can deliver or not, but they love this concept that, okay, this is very, very innovative, and they don't understand this concept that how a global executive MBA program, which is a 53,000 US dollar program, can be delivered with only $7,200 US. So that's a belief kind of concept they have. that in it, this looks like impossible kind of situation. And what people forget is this, that, my, strength is this. Money is not an issue, for us. The strength is this, that, okay, the human being, that STEM graduate is working with me 18 hours a day. So people generally forget the human value and the asset which comes into the project. So my students, my professionals are my assets, okay? And I know how to groom them. And now it's not just grooming them to be a professional. Now I'm grooming them to be a high performance entrepreneur. Okay, and that's the reason the challenge is this, that, okay, my global executive MBA program, the graduation requirement is this, that I'm going to be linking one STEM graduate with a project or with an SME. And the graduation requirement is that you will be actually transforming the current business into 1 million PGC or 2 million Canadian dollar project, a business, basically, a viable business. Okay. And looking at the strength which I have in terms of just food, climate smart food, which we have worked very hard with all my innovators to develop, is a $5 trillion a year industry. And in this COVID-19 world, everyone needs immunity boosting food to survive. And after they survive and come out of the COVID-19, then we will make sure that, we can make them thrive. I think Patrick or Robert has a question.
Misa, I think I want to make a comment, Dr. Misa.
Yes, go ahead.
All right, okay. The financing component of the project will be very, very key. And I am part of the team advising the HL. Okay. And I got quite a bit of your explanation in terms of how you fund your projects. Mm-hmm. It will be like Robert did mention. I think for us to fast track the process of how we can execute, it's very important we understand the funding model, because you see every environment is different.
Correct.
And what happens is, why we interrogate models is to be able to customize it within that environment. It's for that reason at this stage, so that we are able to really add value even in our meetings. Let's have the various, and like you said from the beginning, we have the very expertise within the team. We have advocates here, we have project people, we have financing. Let's get all those integrated. On my part, I want to interrogate the funding model. Kaibre, share all the details around your funding model and specific to this AHL project, so that we can be able to advise where we think we need to validate for our purposes. I think those are my comments.
What I would like to do is this. Now, since I've divided the project into two segments, 4,000 hectares, where I would like to demonstrate my technologies, with what our ranch owner, wants us to do. So we'll be working on that. Now, with respect to financing the 15,000 hectare project, I'm a managing director of Chalfu International. Okay. Chalfu International, I will share the profile of the company, our company. And that, what I would like to do is this, based on the feasibilities and all the work which you have done. Okay. Chalfu International model is that they look at all the details of the feasibilities and everything, and they can finance the project, as a consultant. Obviously, we will pay them their consultation charges, to do it. And like I'm giving you an example, okay, $200 million Buffalo gold mine project. Okay, Chalfu International has came up with a budget of $200,000. $200,000 is their consultation charges, and they are going to be raising for us $200 million to own and operate the Buffalo gold mine. So the timeline is 120 days. Okay, and the cost, approximate cost for that particular project was $200,000. So for raising $200 million, they are charging $200,000 to do it. So that is the model. And what I would like to do now is this. We will share our feasibilities and business plan, and we will put you directly in touch with Mr. Sami, who is the owner of Chalfu International, and I would like that project, your feasibilities, etc., to be financed through Chalfu International. So we are separating the project now into two distinct, projects. One is my climate smart campus town, which I will be working with 4,000 hectares, which is available to us, and your 15,000 hectares, and all the work which you guys have done in terms of developing the feasibilities, etc., can be presented to Mr. Sami of Chalfu International. And my recommendation is that we should be hiring them as a consultant, and we will get the project financed in 120 days max.
Thank you. We hear you, Doc. What I forgot to let the team know is our processing zone for this particular value addition will be a free zone. That is an export free zone. That gives you a chance to export as much as you can and bring in as much you can for value addition.
Fantastic.
Then that is good. And we don't need, you don't need to worry even about the 4,000 hectares. I'll give you 5,000 hectares of the 15,000 hectares to implement yours, because what I have in my program, I'm able to give you the 5,000 hectares for that kind of development. So we don't have to really start wondering how to go draw this list, do that. We are ready for that kind of
Fantastic.
development. In that, this part of our development also involves some amenities. We have designed 1,500 meters runway. Okay, not gravelled, but small landing airstrip at the farm, so that we can have directly flights out of Nairobi into the farm. We also have planned a small golf club for entertaining, and also some residents of say experts like you, Doc, when you fly in out of Pakistan into the ranch. So these are part of the development that are in place for us. Dams, we have about 3 dams here earmarked for making sure that we have enough water for supplying into our facilities, both for irrigation and for the value addition processing. So those are some of the bits that I never mentioned.
Excellent. And it gives me a lot of confidence that I think you have done all the work which needs to be done in terms of, providing detailed feasibilities and everything, which you have planned out. So, and I really appreciate that, you are giving me that 5,000 hectares, to do this climate smart campus town project, to make sure that I provide you with the high performance human asset which you require for your project and for all other projects, in Kenya. So my role would be to develop those high performance human asset in that 5,000 hectare, which you are giving me to build my, SAMS Aligarh Muslim Tijaarat University Climate Smart Campus Town. So I will be focusing on that, developing the human asset, demonstrating all the technologies which are currently available. And I love developing new technologies. So it's an R&D center basically. And your project will have access to the current best technology which is available in the world today to implement. So I think it's an excellent, model to start. I appreciate that we don't have to worry about working with anybody else. 5,000 hectares is available to me to execute my project. I will put Mr. Ken Telford and Dr. Olivier on it as soon as the site is identified, so they can start working on, designing this campus town. And, I would like everybody to be landing in Nairobi as soon as possible to start the execution of the project.
Perfect, Doc. You are the one behind schedule. The land is ready for you. Anytime you so wish, we can do a sublease, and this sublease will be registered with the government of Kenya, the lands office, and that gives you a bit of goodwill to get things started.
And
okay, let me make an input, Doctor.
Okay.
Right now, they have accepted to reintegrate the 5,000 hectares for the campus and 15,000 because everything is documented here.
Correct.
For the Champion International, that they will act as a consultant to finance. Okay. So according to Mr. MD, I don't know his name, Mr. MD Gohifi. Okay, good.
Michael.
Thank you for your performance. Thank you for your wonderful explanation. We will design a formula, a procedure for both projects. The 5,000 and 15,000, that is a model procedure on how it goes. Because that is the first thing. Let us understand what the Afrino wants and what SAMS Global International wants through Circular Relief International Limited. So I think that is the first phase. Then the second stage is to draft another MOU both for both sides, the 15,000 and the 5,000. That is the JV agreement for both parties.
Maybe just some correction. This is Patrick speaking. What Robert has said is basically what he has available for the Smart City project. Out of the 15,000 hectares that he has, he'll be able to give out 5,000 hectares. The rest, which is 10,000 hectares, is still under the project that Afrinol is trying to conclude. Now this brings us back to what we were saying in our first Zoom meeting, that it's best we first share all the project documentation, what your team has, what we have, and then we see how we can synergize, how we can work together. But as of now, we have 5,000 hectares available for the Smart City project. How the 5,000 will be given out, of course, now these are the details that we can get to discuss once we've seen the project documents that you guys have on the table.
Fantastic.
Okay.
So I think Mr. Henry Mukwenye is going to be completing all the sharing, basically all the project documentation, all the things which SAMS Tikwelma Global Limited is going to be bringing into Kenya and executing this 5,000 hectare climate smart campus town project. And there will be a distinct relationship which we will have with AHL to get that 5,000 hectare and execute the project. And then with respect to financing the 10,000 hectare project, I will, Mr. Mukwenye is going to be working with our, Chalfu International to arrange the finance for the 10,000 hectares. So both the projects goes in parallel. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Patrick, I want to direct a question to you.
Yes,
okay.
Please.
We have signed the non-circumvention non-disclosure agreement with AHL.
Correct.
For us to share documentation with both parties. So I'll be sending our documentation to AHL, while also AHL share us their documents they have, so that we can check both sides and also draft a very good module JV agreement that both sides will peruse.
That's fine. That's fine. Another clarity that I think I need to make, as of for the Afrinol's project, the project that Mr. Robert Mushiri was taking you through, he's currently engaged a local bank, which is called Kenya Commercial Bank. They have presence all over. They have presence in Africa. So basically, the bank called KCB or Kenya Commercial Bank, they are the official fundraiser for the Afrinol's project. Just clarification, because I heard that you have another consultant who normally takes 120 days to raise funds, and for which they normally charge around $200,000. So as we speak, Robert in this company called Afrinol, they've already engaged a bank called KCB. They've paid their fees to raise the capital need.
So can you share the details of on what terms and conditions KCB is raising the funds, and what is their timeline, and why the fundraising has been delayed to this extent? So what is the constraints they have? So I'm a kind of a person who likes to remove the constraints. We work with all the stakeholders, and if they are stuck anywhere, we can remove those constraints so that the funding can be acquired on the best terms and conditions, and we move forward.
Yeah, I think then that is a discussion we can have at a later stage.
Because I believe that if KCB is actually in control of raising the funds, then I think you guys are all set. I will be simply integrating the current best technologies into your project. We start working on it to demonstrate our current best technologies. I will start immediately my 5,000 hectare climate smart campus town project, by getting the, subleasing 5,000 hectares from Afrinol, and we move forward.
That is perfect. That is perfect.
So we don't actually, change anything which anybody is doing. You take care of your part, which we have already done. And, I get what I want to demonstrate what I'm interested in demonstrating. And it's a win-win situation for everybody.
Yes. I think now then we can zero in on how now to partner, because we are bringing in the 5,000 hectares. You're bringing in the project. Now how to synergize, how to come together and make your project come to life.
Our model is, Robert, our model is very simple. Model is this, that, okay, there is a value of this 5,000 hectare land, okay, and that is the kind of partnership which, or the ownership of the project which the landowner will have. And Afrinol is a landowner, and, so we determine the value of the land, which is currently, whatever is the value of the land, we agree on that, and that will become the ownership share of Afrinol in our campus project. Correct? Because what you are providing to us is 5,000 hectares, right? And we are subleasing that 5,000 hectares. My requirement is that, which will be working with the Kenyan government to get this lease to a 99-year lease, because that is what I feel comfortable with when I make all these investments. Because I don't want to make the investment just for 35 years. It's a university campus, and nobody should be able to vacate,
The biggest issue is it's a constitution. Of course, the legal parties are here. I don't know what it means to extend from 35 to 90 to 99. That is one area. I don't know how we will go about it.
Yeah, I think that is why at the first stage I said, let me have a preview.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. I didn't catch the last part.
Hello? We've lost him. I was saying, then the best thing is, first of all, let's not get started. Look at the kind of proposal you have, and we have our proposal. Then we see how to synergize. When we are approaching the government, we are approaching it from a common area. We have authority to the very top. The actual president is aware of these projects that we are doing in Tana River. We are not doing this. This is such a big project that you cannot hide it. So
no, we don't want to. Exactly.
Yeah. So what we're saying is this: first of all, to study the documentations you're presenting to us. Let us agree. We are ready to share with you any kind of documentation you so wish. But this is, of course, we would like to share this when we know what is the best way forward.
Correct. And I think what we need to do is this, that share that 5,000 hectare details, and then maybe we can work, because, we have access to the president, of Kenya. And since SAMS is directly linked, with the president, and we will be linking our university, campus, which is in Nairobi, to be part of this particular university campus project also. So I think once we finalize this, and I think you were talking about giving 5% share to the landowners, right, from this particular project, as their continual profit or ownership of the project. So,
right.
In a similar way, we can also agree on that percentage of ownership. And then once that thing is finalized, then we will definitely, SAMS TQLMA Global Limited will take care of the balance part of it, of really, transforming this 35-year period to a 99-year lease. And we'll be working with the government, with your help, basically, to, get the whole project, not just 5,000 hectares, but the whole 15,000 hectares into a 99-year lease. We will work with the government of Kenya to do that.
That's fine. I mean, if you're able to do that, I mean, of course, it would be a bit costly, because as Robert had mentioned, it's a 45-year lease, and 10 years have lapsed off it. So the remainder is 35. It's usually 45 renewable for another 45, renewable for another 45. There are areas where you have 99, renewable for 99, renewable for 99.
But we will actually, since we are talking about building a university campus, we will request, because universities are permanent facilities, so we want to make sure that we have the right kind of documentation and all the incentives, because, this is a commercial project. 10,000 hectare is a commercial project. MAI is a university campus project. So probably, the government of Kenya can give us a lot of other kind of incentives, for building a university campus. So we will get that, from the government of Kenya. We will work with the president and the, the government to get the right, extend that lease to a 99-year lease. And, bring in the foreign direct investment, because, nobody loses. A lot of foreign direct investment will be coming into Kenya, because this will be the first model of a climate smart campus town, which is being built anywhere in the world. And actually what we are planning to do is build it in two things in parallel. We have a Buffalo Gold Mine campus in USA. So all the STEM graduates, from Kenya and from Nigeria will be sent to USA to get the climate smart mining, training over there. So they appreciate the technologies. So basically we will be building two of these campuses in parallel, so that the students are trained in USA, and then they come back and, initiate this project also in parallel.
Okay, sorry, we have 5 minutes to go. So Dr. Maiza, you can record, record this conversation so that it will go off.
Yeah, I think recording is on, and I think I would like Dr. Winfred to conclude the meeting by, giving her wisdom and input in terms of moving forward. Dr. Winfred.
Can you unmute? Okay.
So thank you very much, team. It is an exciting kind of a report. This was the brainstorming meeting where we didn't know who we are dealing with, either parties. And because of what has been happening in Kenya, everybody is suspicious of the other. And but I think we have cultivated a comfort zone so that we can, everybody is comfortable to move forward. And I would pray that, because what we have now are the legal aspects, maybe Honorable Henry and Patrick can be the parties sharing the documents because of the legal aspects. When it comes to corporate side, Robert and Dr. officer or the appointed personnel can be able to fast track that corporate part of it. But the legal and the sharing of the documents, we have already signed the NDA, and so that we move with speed and we move ahead. I'm very excited about this meeting because Dr. Misa has committed on the 15,000 hectares. Robert is comfortable with it. The only part that is remaining is the how. How and how is the JV going to be factored? Who is in charge of what? So those are the nitty-gritties that will be polished along the way. But for now, I think the meeting has been a good meeting. Now we are not strangers again, and we are ready, and parties are willing to share any information they have, so that we come on a table, a new informed table, to discuss the matter further. Thank you very much.
I would like to request one thing from Dr. Winfred, is to prepare a one-page executive summary, basically of the 2 meetings which we have, so that we have a working document to work with.
Okay, I'll do that.
Please, thank you very much. And that way, that working document will enable us to really move forward, with agility.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you, everyone, and enjoy the nice weather and good things. How is the weather in Nairobi? Is it hot?
Thank you, everyone.
It's hot and cold.
Thank you. Bye.
The weather is hot and cold.
Weather is cold, right? I mean, I enjoyed Nairobi because it is cooler than Karachi. Karachi is like about 30, 35 degrees, very hot.
Yeah, you make Kenya your home. I'm sure everybody will, even Henry. Henry will have a small home here.
Yeah. We will definitely have a home for Henry to, come and visit and enjoy, the nice weather of Kenya.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Okay, sure thing. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.